amount of time and everything's logged out. Oh, and you're already live.
Spending too much time in the poll.
And that was the interaction from Andrew.
Yeah. Hi. So I'm Andrew. I started contributing. Because it's got to be 2 years ago, something like that now.
Got to be. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I stopped contributing about 6 to 8 months ago, because of a lot of stuff at work. So I am trying to pick things up again now because I'm about to have a lot more free time on my hands.
You also had an exciting house move in the meantime, right?
True. Yeah, we relocated from Brisbane down to Hobart in Australia. Originally from the UK though, Manchester. So yeah, it's been a very, very busy 6 to 8 months.
But missed us so much, you couldn't keep away. Marco, do you want a quick?
Oh yeah, well, I'm Marco. I started contributing a little bit over 1 year ago, and lately I've not been able to contribute much because, like Andrew, I say unfortunately, but it's actually fortunate. We have a lot of stuff going on in the office, so I don't have that much free time anymore. Hopefully, it will be a little bit easier moving forward. But yeah, I started contributing a little bit over a year ago, mostly focusing on the time tracking features because that's the reason I started contributing, because we need that at work. But then moved touching various different parts of the GitHub product. So that's it.
Awesome. So from my side, I probably started contributing like maybe 5 years ago. I was using GitLab at work and had hacked it about a little bit with some sort of custom integrations, and then my eyes were open to the open source concept. So I started contributing, joined a few hackathons. Eventually joined the core team, and now I'm part of the contributor success and team member myself. So I kind of do everything I can to make sure that everyone that wants to contribute can contribute. And we've been doing these sessions for probably, I wouldn't be surprised if we've been doing them for a year, more formally. And then before that, we were sort of doing informal sessions beforehand. So yeah, I've just managed to get OBS to work. So in order to share several things, I need that working. But should we talk about and who else? Someone else? Oh no, you got your camera working. Nobody else is joining.
Yeah, I will change it.
Nice, that's wicked. I was expecting Missy to maybe join us in a minute as well. I don't know if Marco, you want to just ping and make sure she knows that we've kicked off. I think I saw her a minute ago. So we'll just talk about this issue that you linked us anyway, and kind of go from there. So this is one. Forgive me, I've already interacted, so hello again.
Hello again. That's why I felt comfortable to join, because
awesome.
I knew it was someone that I knew.
No, that's really good, and that's what we're really trying to make that kind of foster that open environment, because we know how it can be quite daunting, and you think everyone knows more than you, and you don't want to kind of look silly or whatever. So. But we all started in a similar place at some point. So, okay, so you wanted to work on this to refactor.
Yeah, I thought it was like an issue that I could tackle by the time. And so when I went to I installed the GDK and everything, and when I noticed the issue was like kind of obsolete, so I wanted some pointers.
Okay, cool. So. Looking at the project, I don't see any instances of this spec. Even in there is no. So, in many files we have specs that look like it's expected not to allow value nil for this. Is expected to allow value for that. Can replacing. So we're saying that this does also check that it doesn't allow any other values as well. And then there's an example of there. So what I'll do, and forgive me if you've already tried and done this, or if anyone's got any other good ideas, please shout. But maybe we'll have a look. Oh, you've already done it. It was
Yes,
changed.
I did, and I put a comment. Yes.
Amazing. So Jesse changed it a couple. Okay, so I wonder if. So how does that 3 weeks ago here?
Yeah, the commit is 2 weeks old, so it's after the issue.
Yeah, and I even look for like an issue that is not so old. So, yeah, and still like it was kind of obsolete.
So, do I try? I'm going to try and fix my OBS real quickly. I won't be a moment. How do I do this? Application capture. Yeah, I just don't know. Oh no, I think I fixed it. Right hand side of the screen. Let's just try that quickly. Start virtual camera. Hopefully you can see. Yes. But I need to stop sharing. There, that should do the trick. And I should be able to move this around if I need to. Perfect. So I'm going to have a quick rep with you, which I'm sure is what you've already done.
Yeah. But yeah, let's do it. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe my installation wasn't correct, but let's see.
And again, you might even have a better way of doing it than me, because I don't know if there's a good way to sort of see. So I guess we're really interested in the trues or falses, because something that can allow 100 probably allows a lot of other values as well. So you can't extensively list them all, I guess. But I might try a little test at some point just to see how this does behave, because it seems interesting that if you pass more than one value, then it maybe knows that you're passing all of the possible values, and it will test not only does it allow these two values, but it doesn't allow any other value.
Any other value, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I would say if this isn't actually testing that it doesn't allow nil, then really we should keep this test as well.
The first one, yeah, that's what I thought.
Combine these two, but we can do a little bit of testing, can't we? So let's let's explicitly look for a true. Okay, so we've definitely got this looks like the same scenario. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. So we're explicitly saying allow true, allow false, but don't allow nil. So this could be replaced. I think that's what Jesse's saying. This could be.
I think. Yeah, I think that this was the thing that was removed. No, because I can't see this file with the. I even have it open.
I might have an outdated.
Yeah, maybe because this is quite new.
Yeah, let's have a look. How do I check? Come on, who's good with Git and can tell me how to do a Git log for a specific file?
I guess you can just
Git log
and the path to the file.
That would be obvious. Okay, so apparently I do have the version.
The version before this change, right?
Well, it was modified by Jesse on June the 27th, so it's pretty up to date.
It's today.
Yeah. So I should definitely have these changes from a few weeks ago. Let's do view file at this one. Let's just check. allow value. Is that what it was?
You should check on master though.
Yeah, that's a way.
Yeah, I'm on master, but just remember that we're on a fork. So, but it does look up to date to me. So it's not this file that I want to look at. It's the spec, and there's lots of files here. So one here. So let's have a look. Yeah, so there's definitely, it might not be the same violation. So let me just see. This one was specifically for delete unconfirmed users. So delete unconfirmed. Yeah, so that has now been fixed, that violation, but there's still very similar cases, i.e. security policy, dashboard limit. So in this file, this spec alone, it looks like there's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. No, this one's okay. That one's okay. That one doesn't expressly say that it can't be nil. But I think in that file alone, there's a few more that you could address.
Okay.
And by grepping just for this string, I think there's maybe a few other specs that do oh no, so this is a good one. Right. So this, to me, suggests that when you pass multiple values, it doesn't explicitly check that it doesn't allow other values. So I would argue that where it's been fixed here, that we possibly have regressed, and we should possibly, or at least we should raise. I think Jesse would be a great person to sort of engage with and ask the question. But why do we not need
the nil check, right?
Exactly. Or does this check for nil, but we just have some really bad examples elsewhere where we're still...
I had a quick look at the documentation, and it doesn't mention anything about failing on non-unexpected values. Okay. Only that it does at least accept those values.
Okay.
So I would agree the nil value not check is required still.
So would you feel comfortable, Anna, asking Jesse that kind of question to sort of say, is there any reason that we're no longer checking that nil is not allowed, and sort of suggesting that it looks like this doesn't, like we've combined these two checks, which is great. But lost, we've kind of regressed, or we've got less coverage, or whatever you want to call it. And with regards to my regex game isn't strong enough, but I think you've got this recording to refer back to, and I'm sure you can regrep for this same thing to find similar instances that I definitely think can be improved.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah, then I will go from there.
And you know where we are as well, so.
Yes. Yeah. Now I'm on Discord.
Awesome. Anyone, anything to add to that before we jump off onto a maybe unrelated conversation?
No, I just linked I think the same documentation that Andrew was looking at over on the pairing channel. So if anyone wants to have a look,
I will open that as well, just so that everyone that have used the stream can see.
At least it's not really linked to the documentation, but to the method.
The source code. Gotcha. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, anyone that's viewing can get that URL, and we're good to go. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for jumping on it as well. So I created an issue, didn't I, for this one, Marco, that you're suggesting we could maybe work on?
I don't know if you already have an issue. I know that we mentioned that on an MR.
I think I might have. There you go. Show writable forks
In
in
other
other places. It's a bit generic, but we're saying we should do the same when clicking the fork button on the home project homepage. So I think that's what you're interested in.
Well, kind of, because I wanted to
Convert it first, I guess, or
convert the fork button on the project page to give you application so that we can have a little more freedom to customize it.
awesome. So I'm just going to close. And thanks, albeit very obvious, Andrew, Mark, whoever, for teaching me that you can pass a path to GitLog. As obvious as it was, I'd never tried it before. So, do you want to drive, Marco, or?
That's okay by me because I kind of already set things up locally.
That's what I suspected, that rather than me asking you what the file was, etc., you might already have it. So feel free to share your screen whenever you're ready.
Okay. Okay. So you can see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, what we are going to try and achieve in this time that we have left is basically convert this fork component that's completely written in XAML right now, so it's static and all of the XAML stuff, to be a view application so that we can also try and customize it a little bit more to have a little bit more freedom on how to display the forks and stuff like that. So this just a little bit of introduction on how to find the source code for this one. So if we inspect on the GDK this component, this section of the page, we can see that it's rendered between this begin and end of the underscore fork.html.xaml file, which is this one that I already opened, and this is the XAML file responsible for rendering that fork button at the moment. So I think that normally we would try to set up how is it called, feature flag to toggle between the new view application and the current XAML implementation. But for the sake of speed and trying to get a proof of concept working, I intended to avoid that and go straight to the view migration.
Yeah.
Okay, so
do you think you'd still like to, if you get to a point where you've got something, will you put it behind a feature flag before you pass it through, or you think potentially you'll see if there's appetite to do it without a feature flag?
I think it will depend on how complicated this will turn out to be.
And how easy it is to revert, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so first thing first, I wouldn't really discard the current logic to decide whether or not to show the button.
Do you mind? I don't know how it is for everyone else, but maybe just zooming it up one notch if possible. Perfect. Thanks, Marco.
Yes, absolutely. So right now the button is only rendered if the user is logged in, and that logic still applies, because if you're not logged in, you wouldn't even be able to try and fork the project. So I wouldn't really discard that. But let's try it like this. I don't remember how to render some text. Fork button. This way the button should disappear.
Yeah, it's funny how much complex stuff we know how to do in XAML, but the basic.
Yes. And it's light with custom attributes. Custom attributes. How do I only display a single?
Why don't you see? So you've got an example a few lines down, haven't you? That's using.
This one?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. But what's different about?
Yeah.
It's using the translation helper, but I don't really know what. Do you think it could be the code that you got commented out? That's something to do with? Is it? Yeah. It's so funny, you know how to do all the complex stuff, but just text.
Is it literally because there's a missing space between the or after the equals?
Could be that simple.
Yeah. Missing a space in here?
Yeah.
Oh, really? If that's it?
Not 100%.
No.
Don't know, just guessing.
No, that wasn't it. But I think this should work, even if we
can try it, but the error just sounds really weird.
Yeah. Come on. Optional with custom attributes.
Where on earth is that coming from, though?
Groups?
I'm guessing there are no other uncommitted changes.
No. It's a clean master. It's calling the APIs.
I'll just do the same on my one quickly, just to see if it does exactly the same thing.
Oh, session expired.
Just close it, reopen it.
My changes. So, oh boy. And
make sure we share this with Nick after, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's try GDK kill. It was working before because I inspected the file to get. Oh.
What's the difference between GDK stop and kill?
Sorry?
The difference between GDK stop and GDK kill.
Oh, I personally always use GDK, not even stop. I always use GDK restart. But after seeing Lee continue using GDK kill to make sure that all the processes are stopped, I started using that.
I think it's just a bit more brutal, and it maybe if you're doing other like Ruby and other development, it could interfere and kill processes that you're using for other purposes. But yeah, I think it's a bit harsher in terms of the way it kills the, is it called like running it or some kind of service that's used under the hood. So yeah, it just, for me, I found occasionally I'd need to do like a reboot to get GDK working again. But with GDK kill, it seems like it's more likely to kill everything off and start up at scratch. So if ever things aren't working very well, I just tend to fall back to that.
Makes sense.
I only making this simple change, it breaks everything. And then my session is expired. This is not fun.
You do just use 127.0.1? You don't use GDK.test?
No, because I didn't set that up.
Okay. I know I found that was a cause for that authenticity token issue. Somebody had set it up and it was using the wrong host name or whatever, but I don't know about this. just going to see if mine's, but my GDK's taking a very long time to even start at the moment. So.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the browser, Marco?
Yeah.
What is this Unix and refused? Because I always have that error, but some it'll boot if I just stop and start. Sometimes it won't.
This is basically a page that's shown while the GDK services are starting up until all the services aren't ready. Basically, you will see that page. I think that.
But it's error?
No, it's not an error. It's only saying that you still have to wait for stuff to set up.
Okay.
And I think it might, I'm probably wrong here, but if Rouse is the name of the web server, I think it's basically saying Rails hasn't booted and it's not ready to receive connections. So the thing that's talking about a socket or a port or a dial, something or other, is kind of saying that it's not actively listening and ready for connections almost. Right. Is yours running again now, Marco?
I had to restart GDK again. And no, it's not running.
So I think mine is, if you want me to just take the wheel for a minute until...
Yes.
But I'll probably say that and regret having said it. So let's try and get rid of that. And away we go. Right, awesome. Yeah, so I just did a random number, and that random number...
And that's what...
So start with that. And see where we go from there. What I'm going to do, though, is what you initially tried to do. And come on, Marco, teach me another keyboard shortcut.
Command Shift 7.
Command Shift 7. Okay.
At least that's working on mine, because I have the... Oh, maybe it's different for you because you have an English keyboard. So 7 for me is the number with the slash.
Yes, it's not. No, so no, that doesn't work either. Come on, palette.
So it's Command C, Command K, Command C.
That's line. Will that work with a block, or do I need to do block comment, which is, I don't even know, Shift, Option, and A?
You can't just do Shift / or sorry, Command /?
Apparently you can. There you go. Overcomplicating it. Thank you. Right. So we've still got what we want. I'm just going to see if this explodes or not, because presumably we're going to want to refer to this when we're building our view component. This would be another one that would be really good to have. Same problem you got, but does it fix if I get rid of this? Or have I now just killed my GDK like you?
But I also wonder why that is killing GDK. I mean, it's only...
No, yep, killed it.
Maybe there's some errors on the Rails and Rails crashed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But we've got it. So again, maybe we should be proactive, raise an issue.
Ground job Rails back is down for me.
Shows everything has been up. But right, I'm back in action.
Oh no, everything's up again, but it still won't work. Oh, okay.
So we know, roughly speaking, what the process is to create a new Vue app. Have you looked to see if we've got a documented front end?
automated way, or?
Yeah, I kind of want like migrating a component from Haml to Vue would be really nice. It seems like something that over time we're going to want to do lots of that. There's only to talk about Haml. But I don't see anything specifically from FAQ. I don't think there's anything on that particularly, so I might sort of see whether like the foundations team or someone, chance will be a fine thing, but they fancy taking the opportunity to kind of document that as a kind of, here's how to, if not, this recording's going to have to start as that source of truth. So we know, roughly speaking, that we need a mount point, right?
Yes.
Probably not a great idea, but and maybe we'll find something that already exists in a minute that we can kind of cheat and copy. Have you already prepped anything like that, or?
I don't really have anything prepped on, but I do have an old branch with a migration from.
Awesome. That sounds like a good place to start. A Haml component to a Vue component.
Yeah, it's the to-dos page from Haml to Vue.
Cool. Do you want to pop it in chat or Discord, or where's easiest?
It's going over to Discord.
Thank you very much. Open it in the wrong browser. I guess I can say that this is definitely sort of a process that I and many others use every time we want to do something. We find something that's very similar and try and do the same. So the index JavaScript, the path determines, so we kind of have to match the path to the endpoint, which could be a little bit funky because this path is a bit generic, and I think this button appears in a few different places.
Yeah, I would keep it generic.
And then the bundle's got more of the meat of actually mounting the Vue component, so it finds the mount point in the Haml, and then mounts our Vue component, which is this. So, and we obviously need to create a component. So let's see if we can kind of figure out some of those. So the JavaScript, app assets JavaScript, yeah. So app assets JavaScripts. Now, what are we thinking? Project or projects? Projects. There's not project, is there? So it's got to be projects. It's kind of a, oh no, sorry, it should be pages. So JavaScript's pages. Am I in there? I've lost where my path is now. My JavaScript project. No, I need to go into pages first, don't I? Which is confusing because I don't see page. Where have I gone now? Views. How on earth did I end up in there? Okay, JavaScript pages. Perfect. Projects. Is it acceptable to do something like this?
think so, but that will show immediately.
But if it pops up, we know that it's loading that JavaScript on this page, right? So if I go to another one like repository, it's also popping up on that. So do we think that that is actually being rendered for every single? Okay, so that's too generic. This projects index looks like it's loaded on every page below projects, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, probably.
So I need something more specific. So what have we got? Projects. Project?
Yes.
Sounds plausible. So we'll start on the issues. Damn, that's not going to work. Although it's probably not the sensiblest thing, but if we had to, we could sort of say, well, just mount it if the element exists, and that way, if it's on the 2 or 3 different pages, then. But if we can be more specific, we should. So that's no good. Projects.
Well, technically, the mounting would fail if the button doesn't, if the element doesn't exist. So even if that's getting included in all the pages, that will only work when.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as we write it safely so that it doesn't explode, it's sort of. But you don't want to execute it on 100 pages if it's only supposed to, like, if it's only needed on like 1 or 2. So, is there another component maybe that we can find that's going to be mounted on? Oh, it's not on this page. It's only literally just on the project overview. It's the only place we want, or the only place that the fork button, I think, appears at the moment. So
I think that's the only place where that's shown.
yeah. So project is, where would it be?
And now my GDK is working. I don't get it.
It's not a show. Could it be that? Okay, that's doing it on here. If I go into issues, doesn't do it. If I go into repository, doesn't do it. Looks promising, would you say?
Yes.
Okie dokie. So we've got somewhere where we can mount. We've got the mount point itself. We now need an actual view component to create something. We need to know where that should live.
Yes.
So are you going to give us
I would keep it generic so that we can reuse that component elsewhere. So under asset JavaScripts, maybe create a fork.
Yeah. I think there might have even been a forks folder already, forks components. Okay. Message files. So, oh God, we keep going back to. Is there a nice way to navigate this? Where's it? JavaScript. So was it components?
No, it's forks directly if you want to create the folder right in there.
Okay. No, it doesn't look like there's a forks, is it? So
yep.
Let's say new folder, forks, new folder, components. Yeah, I know I could have done that a quicker way as well. So forks view, is that forks app?
It's forks app usually.
Although I would expect the forks app to be once you click on the button, the screen it maybe takes you to, if it takes you to a screen that lists all the existing forks,
True.
does some other stuff. So I just got, I'm only going to chuck something together as you said, like well, it's not even going to be a proof of concept at this point, but it's just going to be an app that launches. So the awesome, it looks like you've got a nice short snippet that we can pop in. Wonder why it doesn't like that. Right, so full stop here. So this, we now need to copy your mounting code. Okay, so we've got something that I might borrow. Probably regret it if we need Apollo and lots of other things, but
We will need Apollo.
okay, so I avoid it then. We've got a nice, easy way of mounting Vue apps now, where you don't need to use all this boilerplate code. But let's preempt that we're going to want to use Apollo and stuff. So
Yeah, we'll need Apollo to fetch the list of available forks.
again, what's probably best is where we've got this.
Be right back.
So maybe in our forks have init forks. Not quite the right. And in there, we can take all of this. So we're going to get rid of GraphQL client. You apply for now. Forks. You know what? That's what I can call it. Forks button. Forks button. We've got a really bad component. Something to mount that component. Here we need to import that. Yeah, like something like this, I feel like it's a process a lot of people are going to have to go through. So it would be really nice if we took the time to document this. So forks / complaining, so I hope so. Even this seems a weird way of declaring it and then exporting it. I would have thought that you would just export, but hey, I forget about that for now. So we're not going to provide anything. We're not going to do Apollo. Create element with forks button. Get rid of Apollo. You're not getting any data. I regret this because we're going to want to add all this stuff back in a minute. But I'd rather have it stripped down. Oh no, it looks like I've also killed it. I have to wait for it to reload again. Fun. So I don't know, I'm probably not quite there, but we've got a mount point, we've got a component, we've got a bundle, if you want to call it that, to mount.
Yes.
And we're importing that bundle and executing that command. But yeah, GDK fell over yet again. We try not to get frustrated, but we're back and we have this. So
Yes.
I would say you're going to murder me, Marco, because I stripped out lots of stuff that I maybe shouldn't have stripped out, like Apollo and other stuff, and provide and inject, and said, well, we'll keep building it up until we've got what we need. So I might even be tempted to do a commit so that we can actually almost use the commits as a, okay, this is the very first step. You create this bit, and this bit, and then you start adding your stuff in. But I wanted to just open View DevTools just so we can kind of prove we've got our false button, view component loaded, and not doing anything too exciting. So we could use this issue number, and we'll check out new branch. So migrate view, and we will just check got in our that is fine. I guess would it have a change? Probably wouldn't have a change log, right? If we're not going to change the behavior initially.
Not for now.
Cool. I'll do then. And we'll push, and we'll tell it not to run any linting because we don't care, and we'll tell it to skip CI. Albeit, I don't know about you, Marco, but I found when you do that, it does it anyway. I think because when you create the merge request, it maybe creates a merge request pipeline.
Probably because I use that flag and it works when the MR already exists.
Exactly, when you push future commits. Yeah, exactly. So just keep an eye on it and maybe stop that in a minute. So we've got something on here. I will share this in Discord just in case anyone wants to subscribe, etc. Cool. Okay, we've got a start in place. We've got our first commit. So I guess I want to maybe go back to this, right, and have a little look at kind of what do we need.
Yeah, because some stuff is already existing, so we could inject that from the data that we already have down to the component. For example, I was thinking...
Great point. Yeah. So even before we think about the view component too much, yeah, we could start saying, data, or you passed some on yours, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, maybe not.
No, I don't think you did actually.
No, I don't pass anything.
I've done it elsewhere, so but that's not what I want to look at. Do I want to look at the Haml component that's JS? Yeah, just data. Cool. Simples. Right. So what are we probably going to want to know?
Let's see.
Already forked.
That only changes.
And forkable namespace is .size.
I would pass down the number of existing forks.
Is that something that's
Forks count at the end.
yes, because we want to display that off the bat, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And maybe whether or not the project's already forked, or maybe not. Because
are we going to try and recreate it verbatim initially and then change the behavior, or are we going to try and improve it straight away?
I think we could improve it straight away because we could use a drop down instead of a modal.
Yeah. Okay. So in which case, I think we'll definitely want it behind a feature flag, because
Probably.
if we're changing the behavior at the same time as completely migrating. But the good thing is we can look at this logic, but we don't need to say, oh, in order to implement this logic, we need to have this data and this, we need this, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So should we have I don't know if this is going to help, but I wonder whether we should look at confirm fork modal to see what that was. So
the project path that's going to be needed.
Yes, exactly. So, and that's an injecty thing, right? I thought it was.
Yeah, project path.
Inject, yeah. Okay, perfect. So I hate the way these all go in one line, but
is it full path?
I think it is, yeah. I close what I had open earlier on.
Yeah. That's for the group, but it's the same name for the project.
I might try and be good and do this just so that it's all forks for here. So I wonder then whether I actually want to pass this or whether I'd rather. I suppose the good thing about passing it is that it doesn't have to wait for GraphQL to make the query to display that. But
and
then
we can always, if we want to think about places where maybe you don't have that variable, we can always make the check on the view side, and if the variable is not provided, then we can.
So we've got a little widget that currently just says forks and shows you the total number of forks. But then to do like drop down and click behavior, etc., we're going to want the full path. So what else does it?
I don't think we need anything more for now, at least.
Well, I guess we can get it to a stage where it kind of looks like a button and it says the number of forks on it, right?
Exactly.
And what was the behavior before? Okay, it just said fork rather than forks. So we'll say fork. And right, we need the injected what's it? So I thought your component, no, it didn't. Okay, so I'll just go back to the one that I was middle, and we want to inject. Wow, that's as basic as it comes, right? full path, and we had all something count, didn't we? All forks.
Or forks count.
Hey. Now I have a feeling we have to change that case, but I should have that somewhere as well. Yeah.
Null.
So yeah, in our init, we then need to. So I don't really want this one anymore. Content bundle. We do this. So it looks like it takes care of the.
Yeah, that's converting from snake case to case.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't like that. So we had all forks count and project.
Yes.
We need to provide them. So provide. Now.
Oh, that's working.
Nice. Real nice. That, boys and girls, is our code suggestions. Is that what we call it? Code suggestions beta.
Yeah.
And working at its finest. The only thing I quite like being verbose and explicit, but sometimes when you get to a certain number, there's something like where I might be tempted to almost pass the whole data set through as an object.
Yeah.
But for the time being, let's stick to this. So we should be providing that. So it means that we've got these two things that we should now be able to do something like. I'm probably going to regret doing this, but let's pretend. With forks count.
That's working very good.
It is, isn't it? They've been really. It used to have a habit of like not being very context aware. So if we already had this, it would kind of try and do that as well, and it would dupe stuff up. But it looks like it's really conscious of what's what now. So I'm loving that. Right, I've got live hot reload enabled, so I feel that. But hot reload would only reload the view component and not the Haml page. So that would make sense that it would be rendering that, but not getting the data. Oh no.
Oh no, that again.
Yes, I'll try the restart, but I'm not convinced it'll fix it. Meanwhile, we should do the good thing. I'm guessing someone's already done this for us, but unfortunately, I guess we do like loads of. Oh, wait a minute, that wasn't the file I was supposed to open, was it? config/development.rb. Does that file exist?
What are you trying to do?
Follow my instruction. You can see it in front of me, can't you? And turn eager loading on. maybe I search for eager load somewhere. It's come back to life, but it's not showing the forks count. I'm just going to have a quick look to see if we. I don't really know. It's going to be in some kind of com. Tasks. Yeah, I don't really know. Oh well, ignore that. It's back. So yeah, let's have a look. So we've got our forks button component. Doesn't look like it's doesn't look like it's picked up any of the injected data. So I've done something really stupid, I imagine. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't. So what we need to do...
Set a breakpoint.
Well, I was just going to start by looking for... so you can't inspect the page because once the view component's been mounted, it destroys the original div.
Yeah.
But we can do this. And I genuinely think it's the casing.
Really?
But let's find out by having a look at this and seeing if in my Haml I was a potentially bad person and used that casing. Or no, you know what I think it is? I think you're actually supposed to use...
No.
No? Okay, let's get back to... Where was the content?
Down.
Where is it? I can't see it.
There. Up above 3.
Oh, thank you. No, normal casing. So what am I missing? This is the app. This is data.
I would be tempted to set a breakpoint when it's getting the data set.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
That's the wrong file.
Yeah, but I'm just looking if I was doing anything in here that might, convert the casing. But yeah, no, it sounds like a good idea. So we go into our... I might not have pressed save.
Oh.
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, that was good, bad, whatever you want to call it. We haven't got a path because I've called it the wrong thing. Project full path, project full path, project full path. This is where having hot reload enabled when it works is actually really nice, right? Yeah, awesome. So that's what we'll need for our GraphQL API calls. Conscious we're quite late now, so I think we'll probably call that a day. But that was a good start. Any questions? Sorry, Miss Anna, I realised that I've kind of just gone through, not really giving you many opportunities, but did that kind of process seem to just about make sense?
I think so. I'll definitely go through and watch the recording, but there are definitely some good tips in there. Like I didn't even have the view, the tooltip or the
View dev tools.
So I just downloaded
absolutely
that.
Amazing. Yeah, definitely. When it comes to being like, okay, so why is it not showing the free? Oh, it's nil. So being able to see into all this data. I haven't used it a while, but I've got Apollo and GraphQL extensions as well, which could come in pretty handy. I don't know if we will be able to see. Yes, you can kind of see like cache data and queries and all sorts of bits and pieces. So yes, and that comes in handy.
Very cool.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. I guess maybe Marco, like later in the week, you thinking maybe sort of trying to move it forward a little bit, either during another session or async, depending on whether anyone wants to join.
Yeah, well, if we could even try to do another session tomorrow, same time,
Cool.
to get the styling the same and try to see if we can achieve the same results as it's on master right now.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Andrew just said hello, so, but I guess you could see and hear us, but not the other way. Thanks again all for joining, and hopefully catch you later in the week.